The Night Watchman and the Children of the Jinn. In a quiet neighborhood of a bustling Moroccan city, there stood an old apartment building with a reputation for strange occurrences. The building's night watchman, Omar, was a kind but cautious man who took his job seriously. Residents often shared whispers about peculiar sounds in the hallways at night, but Omar brushed them off as the creaks of an aging structure. One particularly cold and moonless night, Omar sat in his small room near the entrance, reading his Quran to pass the time. It was past midnight when he heard the faint sound of children laughing and playing in the courtyard. He frowned. No children lived in the building, and at this hour, it was unlikely anyone would let their kids roam outside. Grabbing his flashlight, Omar stepped out into the dark courtyard. The laughter stopped abruptly, replaced by an unsettling silence. Scanning the area, he saw no one. Just as he was about to turn back, he spotted small footprints in the dirt, leading toward the basement stairwell. Omar hesitated. The basement was rarely used, mostly for storage, and the residents always complained about its eerie atmosphere. He whispered a prayer under his breath and followed the footprints. As he descended the creaky stairs, the air grew colder. The basement was dimly lit by a single flickering bulb. In the far corner, Omar saw them, 3 children sitting in a circle, their backs turned to him. They were playing a game, tossing small stones into a wooden bowl. Their laughter was soft but oddly distorted, as if echoing from a great distance. "Children? What are you doing here?" Omar called out, trying to steady his voice. The children stopped and slowly turned to face him. Omar's heart sank. Their eyes were pitch black, reflecting no light, and their smiles stretched unnaturally wide. One of them, a girl with long, unkempt hair, stood up and pointed at him. "You shouldn't be here," she said in a voice that was neither childlike nor human. Omar clutched the Quran in his pocket and began reciting Ayat al-Kursi. The children's expressions twisted into anger, their laughter now a high-pitched wail that filled the basement. The room began to shake, and the single bulb shattered, plunging the space into darkness. Through the dim beam of his flashlight, Omar saw the children transform. Their small forms stretched unnaturally, their features becoming grotesque and otherworldly. Shadows danced on the walls, and whispers filled the air, growing louder and more chaotic. Mustering his courage, Omar continued reciting the verses, his voice trembling but resolute. The figures began to waver, their forms flickering like flames in the wind. With a final ear-piercing shriek, they vanished, leaving the basement eerily silent. Omar staggered back up the stairs, his legs weak. By the time he reached his small room, the first light of dawn was breaking. He reported the incident to the imam at the local mosque, who confirmed his suspicions. The children were jinn, drawn to the abandoned and forgotten spaces of the building. From that day forward, Omar kept a bottle of Zamzam water and a Quran by his side during his night shifts. The residents, too, became more diligent in their prayers, ensuring the building remained spiritually protected. While Omar never encountered the jinn children again, the memory of that night stayed with him, a haunting reminder of the unseen world that coexists with our own.